All right, let's talk about something that gives a lot of people nightmares, the management consulting case interview. Yeah, that one. It's famous for being this huge, scary hurdle. But what if I told you there's a way to crack it? That's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to break it all down.
Okay, picture this. You're in the interview, palms are sweaty, and the interviewer leans in and asks, "So, how many golf balls are used in the United States in a year?" What? Right? Your brain just freezes. It feels like a total trick question, and you're thinking, there's no way I can know that. You just assume they have the answer, and you're about to fail. But here's the crazy part.
Believe it or not, they don't know the answer either. And honestly, they don't even care what the real number is. And that changes everything, doesn't it? This whole scary interview isn't a pop quiz. It's not a test of what you know. It's a test of something completely different.
Let's be real. It feels like the whole point of the case interview is just to make you squirm, right? Like they're trying to trip you up with some impossible question just to see you sweat. It's totally designed to be intimidating, and yeah, that feeling of dread, completely normal.
But here is the absolute key, the one thing you have to get. It is not a test of knowledge. It is a test of thinking. They don't care about the answer you have memorized. They care about how you get to any answer. Think of it like this. You're not just giving them a result, you're putting your brain on display for them to see. So if the right answer isn't the point, then what is? What are they really looking for? Well, they're trying to answer one simple question. Can you think like one of us? Can you think like a consultant? The case is just a simulation, a test drive. They throw a big, messy, confusing problem at you just to see how you react. It's all about figuring out if you've got that core consultant DNA. And what does that consulting DNA look like in practice? Well, they're watching you like a hawk for a few key things. First, can you take a chaotic problem and give it a clear, logical structure? Can you apply basic common sense? How do you hold up when the pressure's on? And maybe most importantly, do you ask smart questions to figure out what the real problem is? See, they're not just hiring a number cruncher. They're looking for a partner in solving problems. Okay, that all sounds great, but how do you actually do all that? You need a game plan, a reliable method you can fall back on no matter what crazy question they throw at you. And listen, this isn't about memorizing 50 different complicated frameworks. It's about having one simple, powerful process. And here it is, your 4-step roadmap to the answer. It's just clarify, structure, analyze, and recommend. That's it. This is your secret weapon for every single case. If you can burn this into your brain, you will never feel lost. So let's dig into what each of these really means. Step 1, clarify. This is so important. Before you even think about solving anything, you have to hit the pause button. Ask questions. Get the lay of the land. Are we talking about profits or revenues? Is this a US problem or a global one? You've got to make sure you're solving the actual problem they're giving you. Plus, it makes you look thoughtful, not just like someone who jumps the gun. All right, so once you've clarified, you're ready to structure and analyze. And for that, you're going to need a few tools. Now, don't freak out. This isn't rocket science. Just think of this as your consultant's toolkit, a few simple go-to gadgets for taking apart any business problem. The main things in your toolkit are called frameworks. That word sounds scarier than it is. Really, a framework is just a mental roadmap. It's a simple way to organize your thinking so you don't forget to check all the important stuff when you're looking at a common business problem. Let's grab our first tool. This is the big one, the profitability framework. Anytime you hear the word profit in a case, your brain should immediately go here. It's so simple. Profit equals revenue minus costs. But the magic happens when you break it down. What's revenue? It's just price times how many you sell. And costs? You can split those into fixed and variable. Boom. Just like that, you've gone from a big, scary problem to a clear, logical path. Okay, next tool in the box, the 3 C's. If the profitability framework is your microscope, think of this one as your wide-angle lens. It's perfect for when you need to understand the big picture. You just look at 3 things: the company itself, its customers, and its competitors. It's a super quick way to get a 360-degree view of where the business sits in the world. So, you've got your structure. Now we hit step 3, analyze. This is where the interviewer starts sliding pieces of paper across the table. Charts, tables, all sorts of data. Your job is to do the math. But listen, the math is the easy part. The hard part, the part that gets you the job, is figuring out what those numbers mean. It's all about finding the so what. So they might give you a table like this and say, okay, what's the net income in year 3? So you talk them through it out loud. All right, let's see. We take the total market size, multiply by our projected penetration of 25%, then multiply by the margin per user, then we subtract our R&D costs, and you land on, let's say, $913 million. Okay, you got the number, but that's not the answer. The real question is, now what? This is the moment of truth. You have to connect that number back to the big question. So what does that $913 million figure actually tell us? It tells us this project is going to be wildly profitable. It means that big investment they're worried about, it's absolutely going to pay off. That insight is the so what. That's what separates the maybes from the you're hired. And all of that brings us to the grand finale, the most critical part of the entire case. Step 4, the recommendation. This is your closing argument. You've done all the hard work, clarifying, structuring, analyzing. Now you have to stick the landing with a conclusion that's clear, confident, and actually tells the client what to do. And man, is there a difference between a good and a bad one. Look at this. The bad answer is just, well, it's a mess. It's vague, it's impulsive. Fire the designers! Really? The good answer, though, it's a thing of beauty. It leads with the conclusion, answer first, and then backs it up with cold, hard facts. Do this, and here are the 3 reasons why. It's structured, it's confident, it's persuasive. So, what's the recipe for a killer recommendation? First, it has to be super clear and direct. No waffling. You always start with the answer first. Then you back it up with the key data points you found. Make it action-oriented, tell them what to do. And, if you really want to knock their socks off, mention the risks and suggest the next steps. That shows you're not just a thinker, you're a planner. And look, this quote really just nails it. When it comes right down to it, the thing that separates a good candidate from a great one isn't knowing a bunch of facts. It's having that relentless drive to attack a problem with a clear structure, to really dig in and find the core issues. That's the whole game. So let's reframe this whole thing. Stop thinking about the case interview as this terrifying, unpredictable test. Start thinking of it as a puzzle. That's all it is, a solvable puzzle. And like any puzzle, it has rules, it has a method, and once you learn that method, you can solve it every single time. Because here's the bottom line. The real test isn't about finding the answer to that one specific case. It's about proving that you have mastered an approach that can solve any case, any problem they throw at you. It's about mastering the method. So the only real question is, are you ready to get to work?